I'm so grateful for another day to help stimulate the mental. Time to strategize, huddle up, where's your circle? I can feel the moment radiate through the convo. Talk is cheap, turn your faith into work. I drink my second cup and put my hands in the dirt. 2 cups, drinking straight drip from the earth. Caffeinated conversations, you heard them here first. One for the wake up. One for the wake up. Two for the work. Caffeinated conversations, you heard them here first.
What inspired you, the name 2 Cups? One for the wake, one for the work.
So 2 cups, one for the wake, one for the work. Man, that's a good question. I grew up, man, drinking coffee. I know that sounds crazy, but back in the day, my grandmother on the cold days, she was a cook at a Champion Spark Plug. So she's from blue collar background. But she used to make me and my little brother either a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, which was Sanka coffee, so the little decaffeinated crystals, putting little stuff in it, or we had like hot chocolate. So we walked to school, so that was like our morning routine. She always made sure we had something warm in our bellies. So 2 cups though came out of, I started working as an adult with juveniles with the group home. So, but I would be there in the mornings before everybody woke up, and I get my coffee going, and I have a first cup, right? So then before I wake the boys up, I would have my morning reflection, my morning routine, and by the time they would wake up, man, the coffee be smelling, the house is up, and they're like, we know you was out here drinking 2 cups. So that was kind of like the origin of the 2 cups. I started calling myself 2 cups, and the boys actually started calling me 2 cups too.
So what was there a specific moment in your life to where you sparked the idea to make that actual podcast?
Yeah, I think as I was drinking coffee, I found myself at a lot of meetings around coffee. I found myself in, just collaborating, talking with people, but I would already had coffee, so I was like, I just enjoy what I call them the high quality caffeinated conversations, just learning about others' story, because I spend a lot of time with juveniles, young men from 14 to 18, they really not that interesting, so to speak. You kind of find yourself in a mode where it's like, it's time to do this, it's time to do that. You find yourself pouring out. But then I was like, what if I could talk to, different people from different sectors and just learn about them and their stories and kind of get a recharge out of it, really.
This question already, what does the wake mean to you spiritually, mentally, and emotionally?
So the wake, I could add a little bit more to that, because as a young man, I found myself like just waking up, jumping out the bed, getting ready to go wherever I had to be. I might offer up a small prayer to God before I hit the door, but it was always like that 5 more minutes, and then I'm jumping up and I'm running, and I'm finding myself like grumpy, right? So I'm drinking coffee, but I'm grumpy, but then I'm running around. So I always say I had to give myself a chance to wake up. And doing that, I symbolize that as the wake as the first cup, right? So I wake up and I just think about what I'm grateful for, what I'm thinking about for that day, what's inspiring me that day. Because everybody, I feel like you have to have a reason to wake up in the morning, and it just can't just be to get to work. So allow yourself to wake up and think about all those things outside of work, and then start talking about work after that.
Talking about the podcast, like what core message or mission do you want listeners to take away from 2 Cups?
So for 2 Cups, I really want people to understand that you don't have to be famous, or you don't have to have the biggest platform, or you don't have to have the most money. Everybody has a story that people could glean from, people could get inspired from, or even it might be an opportunity for you to seed in somebody's life or pray for them or encourage them or the person that's sharing their story. So that's, for me, that's the biggest idea I want people to get out of Two Cups. You're not coming to a podcast or platform to see, the biggest stars or the brightest lights. You're coming to just hear about real people doing real things, impacting their communities, impacting their families, impacting, even possibly the nation or the world.
And how do you see Two Cups blending motivation, faith, and real life discipline?
I feel like Two Cups, it blends all those things because I don't put a filter on people, I could put it like that, and I don't actually have an agenda, right? So however you are, that's how I want to receive you. I know a lot of times today people have like, I only talk to people like this, or I only talk to people that believe in that. But how else are we gonna grow if you can't learn about somebody else's walk, their journey, and who they actually as a person, and not these policies or principles that they believe in, but just actually the person, if that makes sense.
Yep. So like that kind of goes into the next question. Like, why do you think people today need this kind of message? The wake and the work more than ever?
I believe that it's time, man. We get so used to grinding and hustling and getting to it, right? So I believe that this message of waking up and allowing you to think about, like I said, like, what are you grateful for? Like, what brings you joy? What brings you peace? Like, it centers you to help you think about work. I think if you think about really truly inspiration and not just the bottom line or the proceeds that come out of, activity, then I believe that people will be kinder to each other, have more empathy for their fellow men.
Now we're going into a new season of Two Cups. What can listeners expect from a typical episode as far as tone, format, and segments?
So what we like to do at Two Cups is give a person an opportunity not just to get to where they are right now. Like, let's talk about, like they call it, a lot of times you'll see a superhero movie, but then they a lot of times they go back and go to the origin story. I want to hear your origin story. I want to hear where you came from. I want to hear ups and downs. Many people have had traumatic experience, but then again, many people have had, great experiences. But I want to hear how all that weaves together and gets you to the point to where you are now, and that's way, my listeners, like I said, or in my real life, like, I deal with young men that they all have different stories, and a lot of times people say, yeah, they look at you where you are now, and they might not understand, like, no, I barely graduated, like me, actually, I barely graduated high school, like, right? So only thing I did smart at 17 years old was graduate high school. I didn't have a plan, I didn't have a purpose, I didn't have any direction, and so I think that listening to other people in real time and seeing where they are now, you can appreciate, where you can go.
And you often weave faith and practical hustle together. How do you balance those two worlds?
Okay, I believe that my steps, I believe, are ordered by God, right? But at the same time, I think that faith without works is dead. So I think that we can pray and hope and wish for things to happen, but at some point, you gotta pick them up and put them down, put their feet to the pavement, and you have a responsibility to try to make happen that thing that you're hoping for.
This is probably going to be a tough question to
Okay, you mean drink a little coffee.
How do you handle the burnout or doubt in times where the wake and the work is just not enough, or it feels heavy?
Bottom line for that, as a male, I think is bills. I know a lot of times you don't feel inspired. A lot of times you don't feel like getting out of the bed in the morning. A lot of times you don't feel like, I don't even feel like making coffee. I asked my wife, honey, could you please just make some coffee? And it's like, but at the same time, I feel that weight, it still supersedes the work. So you have to keep your eyes on the big picture, knowing that you're working towards something, whether it's just, a legacy for your family, whether it's just to be an example for your children, your nephews, your nieces, or, some young person that you might meet, to give them like, hey, you're not always going to feel good. Like, I don't feel good. Like, I tell my group home boys sometimes, I'm like, I'm not having a good day, but I'm trying not to take it out on you, but I need your help in this situation. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times the people we trying to help, they really wind up helping us. I'm like, hey, I need for this to go smooth. So sometimes somebody that might have been your biggest problem wind up being like, okay, I'm gonna stall you out today. I'm gonna help you out. I'm not gonna give you no problems. I'm gonna do. Then they might say, I did good today. I was like, yeah, you did great because I need you today. But I think having a community though around like of people that gonna encourage you to do what you want to do and not just to keep that's another reason why I do the podcast. The things I talk about, I don't want to keep them bottled in because now I have no accountability, right? So if you don't know I like to do something and I never mention it, it's like I never could be like, hey man, how's that going? Or did you ever get to do this? Or is it something I could do to help you? So you have to have a community, and a lot of us that are believers, we find that in church, or we find that in small groups, we find that, in pastoral counseling, but then also professionally, you could find that with people that have integrity or are trying to do things in life, and you could kind of mix in with them, and just it doesn't even have to be a conversation all the time. Because right now I'm in a space where some friends of mine are doing some amazing things, and they might not be like, hey Al, this is how you do X, Y, Z, but I can just take it all in and just gain inspiration, and that inspiration really beats burnout, man, 100 times to none.
So where do you see Two Cups going as far as it's not just the podcast, but as far as the brand itself?
So Two Cups, man, one for the wake, one for the work. That analogy or that metaphor for life, I think, can transfer across many sectors. It doesn't even have to be coffee, It could be just that. But I do see it, going to like a brand, like far as a coffee brand. I've been to Honduras. I toured a 100-acre coffee plantation. I've eaten the red beans off of right off of the plant. I've seen how they process, how they roast them, how they clean them, harvest them, and it's like, man, that really even gave me more of an inspiration, because you see the process to what one simple cup, what goes into that, man, all of the labor, all of the tending to it. And I want to see a brand, I want to see merch, I want to see speaking engagements, me visiting other podcasts, and just offering whatever I have, just that piece of knowledge or that whatever's inside of me, just to offer it, just, man, to anybody that's interested.
And how do you plan to use Two Cups to connect to communities, youth, men's groups, and entrepreneurs?
So that's interesting. I'm still learning a lot in those areas, but just using just my platform as far as the people that I've shared it with. I mean, a lot of people have been really helpful and really receptive of the ideas. So I believe just collaborating and co-laboring with people and networking and getting to meet new people. A lot of times it's hard to step outside of your bubble. As you know, people that have watched me in the past, they notice the only females I've ever interviewed are my own family members. So I would like to, just broaden my horizon and interview more people, learn about more people. And I believe that will, open up doors that I ordinarily wouldn't be able to walk through.
Now, if Two Cups, the podcast, the brand, could speak for itself, what would it say about you, Alan Jackson?
I think that it would say that it's a journey. Like, my conversations aren't a destination, they're a journey. Like, I don't have any gotcha moments. I don't want to expose anything. I don't want to get you on there so I can argue with you or dispel something about you or bring out something from your past that nobody knows and like, well, what about this or what about that? So I think that the podcast itself would say, hey, this is a safe space. This is conversations that the guests want to have, not just something that I want to say. And I try not to, I think that the podcast would say he doesn't try to overtalk or take over, although sometimes he can ramble a little bit.
When it's all said and done, this is the final question. When it's all said and done, how do you want Two Cups to be remembered?
I want Two Cups to be remembered for actually finishing strong, finishing the cup. I could put it like that. Drink the cup, do the work, have a legacy, be able to show, like, to be greater than where you started, you know, like the consistency. I want to be consistent. I want to be, I want to grow. Like I love my city. I love Toledo. A lot of my guests and the core of my guests will come from our community because I believe that we are a town that, you know, has been through a lot, you know, as far as like with the Industrial Revolution, you know, we in medical and different things of that nature. You know, we have a Jeep plant, we have, you know, hospital systems, we have beautiful things here, but I want our legacy, or Two Cups, I want the legacy of Two Cups to be able to grow outside of, you know, our community, outside of our Jerusalem, as we call it, and to spread, man, and just inspire people all over. And when they hear about Two Cups, like, oh, one for the weight, one for the work, and it'll be automatic, like, you'll automatically know what it means. Like, you know what Nike means. First thing you hear, hey, Nike, you think about just do it. When you think about Two Cups, I want you to think about one for the wake, one for the work.